Coach, go ahead.
Where to start? Um, just it sounds like every coach in America when you win a game. I'm proud of these guys, but I'm not just proud of how well they played tonight and how hard they fought and how long they fought and coming on top at the end. I'm proud of these guys to say that every single thing that's come our way this year, they handled with class, did things the right way. I don't know how many teams in America made it through the entire season, starting in training camp, with not a single positive COVID test. We have the right guys doing the right things. Um, Throwing a ridiculous curveball for the first two games. Really battled back from that, being 0-2. I don't know personally if I've ever been 0-2 in any sport in my life ever. I don't remember that. And a lot of guys felt the same way. We felt we were better than the 0-2, even though we had some difficulties. Um, but to come back and win four straight, I told the guys at the end of regulation that they can't be surprised by this. This team, this is just our path this year was difficult, was going to be hard. We're going to have to bite and scratch and claw our way to a victory. Davis Mills, no interceptions the entire game or entire season, and comes back and throws a couple of doozies. Not every single one was his fault, but a couple of them were difficult. And to Davis's credit, he doesn't get down on himself. Comes back and was great on the sidelines, was great with his teammates. They're, of course, picking him up. They trust him. They believe in him. And we came back, and a combination of the guys up front doing a good job and us finding our receivers, and in particular, Simi Fehoko. We've been talking about how special we believe Simi is since we recruited him. And once we lost Connor and Michael, Simi really, really just turned it on. He's been making plays the entire year, but these last few games, I think he's really now started to see it that this he's a special player, and is going to be a coveted NFL prospect because this guy can change games. And tonight, he just let it go. It was awesome to see. Defensively, I thought we played really well first half. Second half, we just had a tough time stopping the run. We had a tough time tackling. We had a tough time tackling the quarterback. Had a tough time doing things, and then came back at the end and found a way to get a stop. And don't blame Coach Kelly one bit. We hadn't stopped the run the entire second half. To come back and try to win the game in a 2-point conversion by running the ball right up the middle, probably would have done the same thing. And thankfully, our guys made a play there. Still not exactly sure what happened. I didn't see the defensive holding. I saw the intentional grounding, but that's neither here nor there. Bottom line is as rough as we started it, as difficult a hand as we've been dealt this entire year, our guys came back and won four straight. And I'm excited. No matter who comes back, I'm excited about the nucleus of this football team for the 21 season.
Okay, we've got a couple questions in the queue. We will start with Dan Greenspan from the AP. Go ahead, Dan.
Hey, dude, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
The first thing, everybody huddling together after the game, I'm guessing you probably gave them some sort of message along the lines of what you told us, just how proud you were of them for getting through the season.
Yeah, I wanted them to be able to give the seniors a hand. So I had all the fourth and fifth year seniors stand up and applaud, and the whole team applauded those guys. They didn't get a senior day. They didn't get any kind of a normal senior year, not scholastically, not interpersonally, not athletically. And for us to be able to do what we've done the last 4 weeks, you can't do that without leadership. You can't do that without senior leadership. And so I had to make sure that on the field we got a chance to give those guys a round of applause.
And second, that third quarter, did it feel like at all that the circumstances of the past few weeks caught up with you at all, or was that just you guys not executing well?
The third quarter to me was, I don't know if somebody told me that we're the second youngest team in the conference. I don't know. I know we looked very inexperienced out there. we looked like we didn't. That's one thing we did not learn this year. Every opportunity we had to put somebody away, we just couldn't do it. It takes a mentality and it takes a high level of execution, because well-coached teams, I mean, this team right here, I mean, this UCLA team, they really took it to USC, and USC had an unbelievable comeback at the end, but they took care of USC. And then that third quarter was a lot of what you saw. They're good up front. They're physical. We gave them a couple of wide open guys, which I still don't know how those happened. But they started gaining momentum in the run game, and we couldn't stop them. But thankfully, we had enough time, and we got some special guys on the offensive side to be able to come back and put it into overtime and then make the plays to win.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Jacob Rayburn. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hey, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Talking first about those Davis Mills interceptions, as you said, not all on him, but along those lines, can you give us any analysis just on your first look of like what the causes were and how he was able to bounce back so well?
Yeah, the first one was kind of a miscommunication between he and Elijah. Elijah didn't bend it enough. Thought I was going to go behind the safety. Davis thought he was going to go in front of the safety. So kind of on them both there. The last one, the pick six, was a coverage that they really hadn't shown very much, and they jumped into a really quick cloud and were throwing a slant, and Davis was trying to get it out quick because it looked like it was pressure. So great design by them. They caught him off guard. The corner jumped in front of Simi and took it. And once again, we just said, hey, we just got to get it back. There wasn't any panic on the sidelines. There wasn't a lot of yelling and screaming on the sidelines. We believe in the guys that we have. And we went out there, we marched right down the field, got a touchdown. Some clock things were close, had to make some tough calls there. And then, defensively, hey, we got to stop. We got the ball back. And once again, a couple guys made some big time plays. Simi Fokum again. But you have to trust. It's the reason why you work those 2-minute drill. We do the 2-minute drill every single week, over and over again. So you get in those situations and the guys know what to do and they go out and execute.
And my last thing, I know the game obviously just ended and therefore the season. So my question is, what's next for you guys? This has been so odd an experience. What's next for the coaches? What's next for the players?
Number one on the docket is everybody sleeping in their own beds. I don't think I ever really appreciated just that idea of like getting back to my room. Coaches have gone on recruiting trips, right? You go on recruiting trips, but you don't go for 3 weeks anymore. You go for a week, you come back. You go for 3 days, 4 days, you come back. We've all been gone for 3 weeks, and I don't call it sacrificing. Nobody sacrificed anything. We made a decision to do this, and we poured all ourselves into it. But it's time for everybody to get a break. We all need a break. There's no bowl. I think everybody's happy about that. As much as we love bowl games, wouldn't be a real bowl experience. We couldn't go back to Santa Clara County to practice anyway. So for everybody, we get a nice long break. Stanford pushed back the beginning of winter quarter, so guys have even a little bit more time. So for us, it's for everybody to relax, get back to their families, take a deep breath, hopefully get some nice, good COVID news in the next month or so, and get ready for the 21 season. So we're all just kind of going to take a deep breath, take a break, have some conversation with some of our seniors, some NFL decisions, et cetera, coming up. But we're gonna take a break.
Thanks, Coach.
Our next question comes from RJ Abadia. Go ahead, RJ.
Coach, after the pick six and the comeback and the overtime touchdowns, it was hard not to think about that game against USC. Andrew, spider wide banana, everything. I'm just curious, is there any chance that popped into your mind? And was there any similarities in your mind as it played out?
Yes, trust me, the two guys, and I'm sure some on this call and a radio interview right after the game too. Tavita Pritchard, right? He and I is the first thing on our minds. And he actually said it to Davis on the phone during the game, because we've been here before. The biggest similarity to me is that, it was a bad play by a great player. So I knew that he was going to bounce back. Davis, I've never seen Davis down ever. I've never seen him sulk, no matter what's happened. When he got hurt 3 years ago, right? It was a second injury and he was going to be out for another year. And I said, "You okay?" He said, "Yeah, I'll be back." No tears, no upset. He's like, "Hey, bad break. I'll be back." Right. So when that happened, I knew who we were going to get, and we're going to get the guy that comes up and says, "Okay, made a bad play. My fault. Let's go." And he led us back to two fourth quarter touchdowns that put us in overtime, and then some big time plays in overtime.
And I know you don't have any doubt about who he is, and you never want to put 3 interceptions on film, but I'm just curious, does the next level ask that question about a guy, about how he deals with adversity inside of a game?
Absolutely, absolutely. And this one won't even be. I won't even have to answer this question. They just have to watch the film. Played great in the first half. Couple of bad plays in the second half. Once again, not all his fault, but it goes on the quarterback stat sheet. But that's what, as an NFL coach, as I was for a time, that's what you're looking for. Okay, something bad happened. Now, how does he respond? We ask that in recruiting. We talk to high school coaches. Tell us something difficult that he's had to fight back from. We see if they lost a big game or they lost a rivalry game. How was he the next week? Was he a leader? Did you have to bring him back? Did he bring his teammate back? But this one you can just see crunch time, game on the line. After a couple of bad plays, Davis was just awesome.
Then just my last thing, they're not one of your championship teams, but I'm just really curious, how does this team stack up in terms of what coaching them was like and what they showed you compared to your best teams?
Yeah, there's always going to be a special place in my heart for this group. Unprecedented difficulties, and you all know them. You know them all. Starting with, are we going to play? Right, coming back, sending them home, coming back, pushing the season back. And two of the best players in America understandably said, "You know what? I got to get ready for the NFL this season. There's too much up in the air." Right? One of the top corners in America and one of the top left tackles in America. And everybody understood that. That's fine. And then missing Davis for a game and then for an entire week the next week. That was tough. But everything that was difficult, our guys rose to the challenge. Injuries and all those different things that have happened, the guys all stepped up. So this team should go down in Stanford history as one of, if not the most resilient team ever, given what they faced and coming back and not being able to come home and winning 3 straight games away from home, but 4 straight road games to finish the year. I don't know if it's ever happened. I don't know if this could ever happen again.
Thank you, Coach.
And with the guys waiting here, we'll take one more question for Coach, and that comes from Troy Clardy. Go ahead, Troy.
Hey, Coach, 2 things here. One, how much did you think about going for the extra point at the end of regulation?
No, I'm all about kicking it until you have to go for 2. And the statistics and the gurus that have all these charts, etc. I'm a bit of an old school guy. I think you have a few 2-point plays. I think you save them until you need them. And part of it is, what happened tonight. And once again, I don't blame Chip for going for it and trying to end it. We hadn't stopped the run the whole second half, so I don't blame him. But the hard part is if you don't get it, then the game's over, and there's that empty feeling. And John Gruden used to always tell me, "Hey, don't try to win the game as a play caller. Let the guys win the game on the field." So that's always in the back of my mind. We're going to kick it until we have to go for 2, until we get late in the third quarter, early in the fourth quarter, like we did last week. So we have to now play the numbers game. But if the score's tied, hey, we'll just keep tying it and see if we can pull away. And thankfully, we made the play at the end.
And also, how much of you is glad that, or how much of you is glad that this is over, and how much of you wishes that there was another game next week?
Gosh, that's a great question, and I don't really have an answer for you because we're exhausted. Everybody's exhausted. I would say 90% of college football is exhausted. It's been hard, especially for those of us on the West Coast that have had probably more issues And once again, I don't blame county officials. I don't blame states making it. They're trying to save people's lives. God bless them. So I have no issue with that. I have no issue at all with what Santa Clara County. I have no issue with anything anybody's done. But we've had to fight through so much, and I have to say this again: not having a single positive COVID test in a hotbed that we were in for a long time says a lot about our guys. But it was hard. It was not easy. And then you know, but at the same time, you hate the end of the year because we're not going to get to play games again for another year. So yeah, there's that part of me that says, gosh, it'd be great if we had one more game. But the other part of me says, you know what, these guys have been through enough. They've worked hard enough. They've given each other, I won't say they've given me, they've given each other everything they could, especially the last 4 games. And they deserve a break.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Well said, Coach. Congrats.
Thanks, everybody.
Happy holidays.